such an incredible year for female entrepreneurs. Like, and not only that, but you're the wife of a rapper,
Right.
and you're finally, really having something that people can say, "Oh, that's Tammy," and not Waka and Tammy.
And it's crazy because it's all people are gonna always say that's Waka's wife. It doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me because what I want people to understand is that people are like, oh, he made you, or I want people to understand he has given me an opportunity. Because if it wasn't for my husband, people would not know who Tammy is. So I would always be grateful for that. But it was already written. What God has for you is for you. And I never, and if anyone asks my husband, I've never sat around and just could not do nothing. Especially when you're with a man like him, because he's very ambitious. He's gonna get it regardless. He's gonna find a way to get it. So when you're around someone who has that such energy, you just try to figure out, well, damn, what the hell I'm gonna do? I need to get it too. So I always wanted to. I've always been doing something. When he was, when we first met and he was rapping, I was like, let me style. Like, I want to style. Let me style you. He was like, at first he wasn't trying to give me an opportunity. I'm like, all right, I want to style some other people. He like, you're not styling nobody else. You better start with me. So then he started giving me, the label started giving me budgets to style, and I started like that. And then eventually I wanted to do design, and I always wanted my own since I was a child. I always wanted my own clothing line. I always wanted my own stores. I have put my pieces in stores. So it's still the beginning, but I want people to know that you can be a wife. You can still have your own money. You can still do your own thing. You still can be spoiled by your husband at the same time. You can still be sexy as long as it's tasteful and classy. You can do whatever you want to do. Like, I don't want to put myself inside no box and just be a rapper's wife,
Yeah, you're Tammy the businesswoman.
Yeah, I'm a businesswoman too. I'm a wife. I'm a businesswoman. I'm separated, but I'm still, I'm still a wife, a businesswoman, a mommy, so do all of that.
So I know you got a lot going on this weekend. You got BT Awards weekend.
Yeah.
And you're getting ready for your fashion technology bazaar. So give us the details. What's going on with all that?
So the fashion technology bazaar is pretty much like up and coming designers, who are just ready to show what they have. Cynthia Bailey is doing her bag line. It's called Cargo. Really dope bag line. And she's displaying it at the fashion bazaar, and I'm doing my swimwear line. And I'm really excited about it because that's my baby. Like, these pieces I designed, I sketched out, I went through the whole process from sketches to templates to samples to production to being produced. You get what I'm saying? Like, I didn't go into a warehouse or go and say, oh, I want this, that, and that, and just put my name on it and it's gonna be mine. Like, this is stuff that I actually created. So I'm excited about that. Like, I'm real happy. And when people like it and love it, it's just like them. It's like your baby. It's something you created, so you're excited about it. So that's how I feel. I like the high cut swimsuits.
Real Baywatch.
Yeah, it's real Baywatch. It's real 80s. Like, I love fashion, so my favorite. I just love everything. You know what I'm saying? About how they say fashion repeats itself. So I go and look at old time movies like Tina Turner, like What's Love Got to Do With It is one of my favorite movies in the whole damn world. Like, I just like getting a lot of inspiration from, like you said, Baywatch and Flash. So I wanted to bring that swimsuit back, and I wanted to make it more personal. So I was like, let's put a zipper in the middle. And I'm like, let's have Rivera going across the front. And then I'm like, let's make the T the zipper, T Rivera, because that's what my logo is. And it just worked out. And a lot of women love that swimsuit because it pulls you in here, but you still show, like, some people have stretch, like, I'm a mom. I got stretch marks, you know what I'm saying? Mostly on my hips and thighs, whatever. But even still, like, some people have stretch marks here, you want to cover that up. And then some people just busty, but it hugs you so tight here and shows the parts that you want to show and cover up the stretch marks and stuff. So it works really good for small and big girls. This collection, I went up a size. Last collection I did small, medium, large. This collection I did small, medium, large, and extra large. So now, after this, I'm going to actually go into plus size, which I think I'll do 14, 16, 18. Like, I'm going to just have to cut them a little different, but still sexy. Because I'm definitely going to do plus size.
Cool.
But this will be just a collaboration because I heard Cynthia has an amazing cargo bag line.
Yeah, they are really cute. I've seen
I
them.
looked at them, they're real dope. And I have my swimsuit, so woman who's out here entrepreneurs grinding, getting it. You know, sometimes it's good to collab and bring that extra crowd and debut and stuff. So that's what we're doing.
That's cool. Now, something that the both of you do have in common right now, you know, you're going through, you know, some rough patches in your relationships. You put on your Instagram that you and Waka have separated, and everybody's like, what? So, you know, like, what happened? Why did y'all decide to separate after being together for 6 years?
Everybody just need their space sometimes. You know, there's no love lost. There's no particular reason. I can tell y'all one thing, and damn sure ain't because of the little girls that's posting all that stuff. You know, sometimes people take people's misfortune and their, you know, hard times, and they try to capitalize off of it. So that's pretty much what all that came from, is just trying to capitalize. Oh, they're separated, let me put up something to make it seem like I'm the cause of it. I would never leave my husband or no female. I only leave my husband when I'm ready to leave him, or when I feel the need. You know, you understand what I'm saying? So it's never because of, no woman can ever make me leave him. Only he can. Or unless I want to. But yeah, it's not, I mean, that's still my best friend. Like, that's gonna always be my friend. Right now we're separated, but only God knows the future. Just right now he's working on his career, I'm working on my career, and sometimes you need that space.
Of course, you know, you say only God knows the future, but does that mean you guys are separated just to have space, or is like y'all still trying to work stuff out, or do you have an intent to divorce?
I'm not, right, I mean, right now, there is no, we're not trying to work on anything at this point. You know, we've tried, and we decided that it's best that we separate. Now, like I said, I can't, anybody who knows me, they know I'm a firm believer in God. And I'm not a quitter, and I'll put my life, my relationship, and my child in God's hands. So when I say only God knows, I truly mean that. Like, right now, I'm not going to make a rash decision and say we're divorcing, because we're not. You know, but only God knows what the future holds, and that's pretty much what it is.
Have you discussed these things with your daughter Charlie? Like, does she, you know, she's 10 now, right? Or is she 11? She's 10. Does she expect Waka to still, you know?
He's always going to be in Charlie's life.
Always.
That's one thing I never have to worry about. That is his child. You know, blood, biological, non-biological, like whatever people want to say, that's his child, and he's going to, and she has her father that's in her life. She goes to spend the summers with him, but she's actually with her father right now in Baltimore for the summer. But Waka is her father too, and they have a relationship that I would never ever break apart. Regardless of what happens between me and him, he's going to always be in her life.
That's true. One quick thing about Charlie, I remember you did step into the shade room. I'm not gonna put this on our roommates right now, but someone commented on a screenshot of when your daughter was texting you that her cancer died, and that's how we all found out that she was dyslexic. And you know, then you guys started to report that she was working on a book to help other dyslexic children.
Yes.
So how's that going?
Right now, we're still working on it, because I want her to be a part of the whole process. So it's taking longer than expected, because I don't want to just be like, oh, I'm going to take over. If it's going to be her book, I want her to actually, because she's very creative. A lot of people think that when you have dyslexia, you're, I guess, a disability or something. Like, it's absolutely not. That little girl is super bright. And most children with dyslexia are very, like, creatively inclined. They're very artistic, and that's my child. Like, she come up with these crazy concepts, like if you do you know, back in the day when you would do a math problem, and they say draw a picture for the math problem. Her pictures be so detailed that I'm like, who would think of this? So actually, she's been homeschooled for the past 3 years, and her teacher, she's like, I think she needs to get tested for the gifted program, because her mindset and the way she thinks outside the box. You know, and then sometimes when we don't perform with school, you know, school you have to be on a certain everyone has to conform the same. And just because you don't conform the same with other children, sometimes your mind is just a little bit more broader, or you just think differently. And that's what my child does. So I try to caress and like nurture all of her creativity by giving her, you know, that flexibility. Being homeschooled, getting that one-on-one attention, you know, letting her express herself through her clothes, through the colors of her hair. Because when you suppress that, like it drives you crazy. I'm an artist, designing, music. Like I love singing. I love clothes. I love designing. I've been doing this since I was a child. So I could only imagine if someone took that away from me, I would probably not be who I am right now. You know. So I want her to be like the next Michael Jackson and Beyonce. So I'm a just, yeah, you want paper? You want to draw? Girl, here, here's a paper. You want pink hair? Go ahead, girl, get pink hair. I mean, as long as it's still within her age group and appropriate, I'm all with it.
Say, you know, God does put you guys back together in a more harmonious way. You know, last week, Amber Rose visited Hot 97, and she was talking about how, like, she jokingly said it, but you know, there's a truth behind every JK.
Yeah.
She jokingly said that she would gladly have another baby with Wiz Khalifa, you know, in the future, and like, you know, just come on, like, we're having another kid.
Right. They have a beautiful child. That little boy is so pretty.
He
I would
is.
have a baby with both of them.
But would you be, like, I know you and Waka were trying before, but would you be open to having another child with him in the future?
I'm going to have another child. You know, period. I'm going to have another baby because I don't want my child to be alone. She's already lonely and, like, irritated because she wants a brother or sister. But if things were better, you know, if things get better and things work out, like I said, only God knows the future. But he will be a great father. He is a great father. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely wouldn't mind having a baby by him ever, because he's an amazing father. Regardless, take away everything else that he, you know, husband or his career or whatever, but him as a father is amazing, and I would never mind having a baby by him, even if we weren't together. Yeah, you want your baby here? But no, I would definitely want to be together, but he's a great father, so yeah, I would. Hey y'all, this is Tammy Rivera, and I'm stepping into the shade room on purpose this time. I'm being stepped into the shade room without being drugged into the shade room. But no, I'm here, and thank you guys for watching.